Hello and welcome to my Stardew Valley min-max and 100% perfection guide, where we are trying to earn as much money as possible in as little time as possible and achieve each of the perfection goals as soon as we can. In this run, I have successfully unlocked Skull Cavern on day 17 of spring, which allowed us to afford 640 starfruit seeds for the first day of summer. Some other achievements in spring included reaching level 4 fishing on day 2, obtaining the gold pickaxe on day 11, catching the legend fish on day 15, unlocking the vault bundle and reaching the bottom of the mines on day 17, and slaying 500 dust sprites by day 20 to obtain the burglar's ring. I cover all of this in greater detail in my spring recap video, so if you have not seen that yet, I recommend watching it first, and I'll leave a link in the video description. This video will cover the entire month of summer and give a recap of all we did, and I'll explain many of the tips and tricks I use. If you're interested in this run in greater detail, also consider checking out the playlist with all the individual episodes, which will go through the run day by day in much more detail. This video will be a nice reflection on our run so far for those who have been following along, but will also be great for those who have not, with a nice summary of all we did in the second month of this run, summer. Our main goal for summer is to grow lots of starfruit, which we will eventually turn into wine to make lots of profits by the end of year 1. Of course, we need kegs to do this, so we also must start on a tree farm for wood and oak resin. While we take care of this, we also want to make progress on the community center, which we will be able to complete on fall day 21, as well as other tasks like tool upgrades, farm building upgrades, leveling up NPC friendships, and, of course, more resource gathering and Skull Cavern dives. Before we dive into the month of summer, let's talk a little bit about this run. I started this run as a min-max attempt a year ago, around January 2021, shortly after the release of Stardew Valley's 1.5 update. I recorded all of my gameplay with intent to eventually make a video series out of it, but did not get around to doing so until a few months ago. In the short time since then, I have been able to improve my video quality quite a bit and have received lots of great feedback and comments from the community here, so thank you all for that. Since I have already recorded gameplay footage up until winter of year 1, I won't be able to take advantage of all the new and improved min-max strategies that have been developed since then, but this series still serves as a nice and gentle introduction to the idea of min-maxing in Stardew Valley and optimizing gameplay and making the most out of your in-game days. I still consider this run a huge success and will be continuing it until 100% perfection is reached at the end of year 2. Let's go ahead and get started with the gameplay. Prior to summer, we have gained enough assets to sell for over 300,000 G to afford 640 starfruit seeds and deluxe speed grow for the first day of summer. We were able to achieve this from our Skull Cavern dive strategy in spring by gathering tons of iridium ore to smelt into bars to sell. We have also prepared our field by planting parsnip seeds on the last day of spring, a cheap seed that we can use as a placeholder so our hoed land will stay hoed and the sprinklers can water the tiles, so all we must do is scythe the dead parsnips and we are met with a fully hoed and watered field on the first day of summer. So all we need to do now is place our speed grow and plant our starfruit seeds. After scything away all our dead parsnips on day 1 of summer, we head over to Clint's and receive our brand new iridium pickaxe, which we had upgraded during the spring when we were preparing our field for summer. We also open a bunch of geodes using Mousy Pound's predictor tool. This is just for a little extra profit and to get minerals and artifacts for the museum, and I'll be doing this quite a few times in summer, and if you're not sure how to use the tool for yourself, I recommend checking out my guide for Mousy Pound's predictor tool. Continuing day 1, we buy 640 starfruit seeds from Sandy, and we also buy a variety of summer seeds from Pierre, mainly because we need crops for the community center, but also because a goal of mine is to ship one of every crop. Back at the farm, we plant nearly all 640 starfruit seeds with just a few spots still open. This first day of summer is a real time crunch and I am still in need of a few more quality sprinklers. Looking back, I turned too much of my ore into bombs, leaving not enough for sprinklers. That's okay though, because we got the majority planted, and when these are ready for harvest on day 10, we will also be able to expand our whole field to hold 960 starfruit total. On day 2, I catch some new summer fish, including the sturgeon and pufferfish, and plant the seeds from piers. We also plant a red cabbage seeds, which we received as a mob drop in Skull Cavern. The red cabbage is required in the dye bundle at the community center, so it's important we get one this summer. Then come nightfall, there is an earthquake during the night, opening the Northwoods for us on day 3. We start our very important tree farm by planting a bunch of acorns, which will grow into oak trees we can tap for resin. We also plant a bunch of pine and maples to chop for wood. We will be needing an insane amount of wood and oak resin to craft lots of kegs, so it is important we start on this tree farm early. For the rest of day 3 and on day 4, we mine in Skull Cavern. We need to make many Skull Cavern dives this summer in order to afford more starfruit seeds and all of the farm buildings and upgrades we plan to get. On day 5, we get a lightning storm, and I realize I am not high enough foraging level to craft lightning rods. To be better prepared in the future, I spend the day chopping trees and farm my foraging XP up to level 6 so I can craft lightning rods the next day. Lightning rods are important since they will protect our crops from lightning strikes and also produce battery packs, which we will use later on for crystallariums, iridium sprinklers, and more. We'll want to prepare more rods before day 13, since day 13 and 26 of summer are always guaranteed to be lightning storms every year, and in general, lightning storms occur most frequently during the summer. Day 6, we have a Skull Cavern dive, then on day 7, we buy an apple and pomegranate sapling and start growing them on our farm. This is important to do early since the trees take a month to grow and we require these fruits for the bulletin board community center bundle. We also start construction on a barn and spend a bunch of time clearing space on the farm to make room for planting more starfruit seeds. On day 8, we give Gus a birthday gift and upgrade our axe to gold tier before heading to Skull Cavern and slay enough serpents for the eradication goal, which unlocks us the napalm ring, which we will make good use of later on. Day 9 is a super bad luck day, but we still head over to Skull Cavern right away and still manage to have a very lucrative dive. Day 10 and 11 are very important. We must now expand our fields to hold up to 960 starfruit. However, I do have a slight problem and do not have enough deluxe speed grow to expand the field. It turns out Sandy's Oasis is open tomorrow despite the Luau festival, and we are going to skip the festival to buy deluxe speed grow from her, which can only be bought on Thursdays. We also need the extra time to harvest and plant the first half of our field and start preparing to plant the second half tomorrow. The way I do all of this is best explained in one of my previous videos, so let's take a listen to that. Let's first take a look at the blank month of summer. 28 days, and starfruit takes 13 days to grow normally. So without any boosts, you can only fit 2 harvests in summer. Since we have access to deluxe speed grow, our starfruit will grow in 9 days. So we can plant our 640 starfruit seeds on the first day of summer and they will grow on the 10th. We end up replanting 480 starfruit seeds on the 10th, and since we have not gained the 10% speed bonus yet, these will grow in 9 days again and on the 19th. Since we harvested 480 of our starfruits, we will easily gain enough XP to reach level 10 farming on the 10th night of summer and pick the agriculturist profession, which will give us a plus 10% crop speed bonus. Our starfruit will now take only 8 days to grow. Since our starfruit will only take 8 days to grow, we can safely plant 480 starfruit seeds on the 11th, and they will grow on the 19th with our other 480, putting us at a total of 960. On the 19th, we will plant another 960 starfruit seeds, which will grow in 8 days on the 27th. This is how we fit 3 harvests of starfruit in the month of summer, with a day to spare. And this day is actually important for us because remember how on the last day of spring I planted a bunch of parsnip seeds to maintain the hoed and watered dirt? We can actually plant 960 wheat seeds on this day, and with our bonuses, they will grow in 2 days. Unlike the parsnips, we can actually harvest them on the first day of fall, since wheat grows in both summer and fall. This will leave our field nice and ready on fall 1st for the planting of some pumpkins. So that's a bit of an overview of our starfruit harvests in summer and how we can fit 3 harvests in the month. Back to day 10, we do give Maru a birthday gift and start construction on a coop before planting half the field with starfruit seeds. Since we harvested a bunch of starfruit, we level up to level 10 farming and of course select the agriculturalist profession. We will be able to change this later on to the artisan profession when we want to sell things like wine. On day 11, I end up buying another 640 deluxe speed grow and the remaining starfruit seeds we need. We spend the rest of the day planting the seeds and successfully now have a field of 960 starfruit that will be ready to be harvested on day 19. Moving on to day 12, we check our TV and realize tomorrow will be a stormy day. Of course, this should come as no surprise, as I did mention day 13 and 26 of summer will always be guaranteed stormy weather. We spend most of the day gathering materials to craft more lightning rods, which are iron bars, refined quartz, and bat wings. I'm able to craft 9 rods, which will help us get some battery packs tomorrow, and also prevent lightning from striking our crops. We also take advantage of the increased forageables at the beach from day 12 to 14 in hopes of finding a rainbow shell, but we unfortunately do not over these days. On day 13, we give Alex a quick birthday gift and then head to Skull Cavern with our new napalm ring. The napalm ring is a great addition to our arsenal as it lets us cause a small explosion when we slay an enemy. We can take advantage of pausing and switching rings using our iridium band at most times, but right before we slay an enemy, quickly switch to our napalm ring to cause a nice explosion. The explosion will blow up rocks and damage enemies, so it really comes in handy if you line up the kills right. On day 14, we buy a silo and spend the day at Skull Cavern. We also spend day 15 at Skull Cavern and are able to get an auto grabber, which saved us 25,000 G if we bought it from Marnie. Day 16, we utilize a magic rock candy at Skull Cavern paired with a super luck day to get all the way to floor 135. I also make sure to use a lot of bombs and, when necessary, staircases. We end the day with 350 iridium ore and a bunch of other cool loot. On day 17, we donate some items to the community center and upgrade our axe to iridium tier and our barn to the big barn. We also give Sam a loved cactus fruit for his birthday before finishing the day at Skull Cavern. Then on day 18, we pick up a magic rock candy from the desert trader before mining in Skull Cavern. On every Thursday, I will make sure to pick up a candy as you can only get 1 per week, and we want to take full advantage of the candy's bonuses. They are also worth the price of 3 prismatic shards, as the bonuses will help tremendously in Skull Cavern, and you'll likely get at least 3 shards while mining anyways. We'll also want to keep restocking our supply of desert warp totems from the desert trader, as we can arrive at Skull Cavern much earlier in the morning. The same goes with Spicy Eel and Triple Shot Espresso for their speed bonuses, and we'll also often pick up some artifact troves to use with the Geode Predictor to get valuable items like the treasure chest. And of course, on Sundays, we'll make sure to trade some jades for some staircases. On day 19, our harvest of 960 starfruit is ready, which we replant with another 960 seeds. We also take a quick trip around town today, buying 2 goats, 4 cows, and 4 chickens from Marnie. All of these animals will provide us with items needed for the animal bundle in the community center, and of course, we'll want at least one of each animal to obtain every item to ship eventually. We then receive our iridium axe from Clint and pick up an ice cream from Alex to give to Demetrius for his birthday. We also have to sell some starfruit to Pierre to afford some more seeds and upgrades, Usually I am against doing this, as even the gold quality starfruit is better when turned into wine, but we do need the money now to be able to make more money, so we do end up selling some gold quality starfruit. Gold quality crops sell for 50% more, but the quality does not carry over when kegged, so they would gain the least value when kegged, making them the best choice to sell. After this, we head to the carpenter shop to buy the big coop upgrade and give Demetrius his ice cream. After buying and planting the remaining starfruit seeds, we head to the south forest and chop trees there and the stumps in the secret woods. I'll do this quite frequently now, since it's currently our best way to rack up foraging XP, although still quite slow. Foraging is definitely the hardest skill to level up early on, but we want to do this as soon as possible, so we will keep chopping the trees and stumps. We also, of course, will make good use of the wood, mainly for our future kegs. Come day 20, I catch the summer unique Dorado fish. We want to make sure to catch every summer exclusive fish this summer, so we can catch every fish in the game before the end of year 1, just for fun. Again, part of this run is completing perfection goals as soon as we can, but we are still mainly focusing on the min-max aspect. And of course, the perfection goals as a whole won't be able to all be completed until the end of year 2, when we get the last recipe to cook all items. On day 21, we continue the fishing goal by catching an octopus and the legendary crimson fish. While we're at the beach, we also finally find a rainbow shell, which only spawns as a forageable during summer. We will need this for a Mr. Key quest, so it's good we got one now, or else we'd have to wait until next summer or possibly get lucky with it appearing in stock at the traveling cart. We also buy a stable, which will unlock us the horse, which will give us a speed boost when ridden that stacks with both our spicy eel and coffee bonus. We finish the day continuing our tree farm by placing a bunch of tappers and planting new tree seeds. Day 22 is the dwarf's birthday, and we don't even have the dwarvish translation guide yet, so we must quickly grind for a dwarf scroll 1 to donate, giving us the translation guide so we can gift the dwarf a loved omnigeode. I find the dwarf is a bit harder to level up friendship with, since he does not love any gifts that can have a silver or gold quality other than the universal rabbit foot, so it's important we do not forget his birthday. Then the rest of this day and day 23 are spent at Skull Cavern. On day 24, we will give Willie a sturgeon for his birthday and buy 2 ducks and the deluxe barn upgrade. Ducks will give us a duck feather, an item needed in the community center's dye bundle. On day 25, Gunther gives us the sewer key, then we spend the rest of the day and day 26 mining at Skull Cavern. Sadly, this month we were unable to get a lucky ring from Skull Cavern, which would have been a nice addition to our arsenal, but we will be able to obtain one in the future. This month's Skull Cavern dyes were pretty decent, but looking back, I could have probably been more generous with my use of staircases and bombs, which could have netted me a lot more iridium and loot overall. Anyways, on day 27 we buy 2 pigs and 2 sheep for our new deluxe barn, and buy our first house upgrade from Robin. The house upgrade is more of a luxury than a necessity, but the kitchen will be used to complete the community center since we must cook a fried egg and maki roll. Of course, these items can be found using a more difficult method from the saloon or its trash can, Krobus, and of course the traveling cart. Speaking of the traveling cart, we actually do rely on it to complete the community center early through purchase of the Nautilus shell, an item needed for the field research bundle that can only be found during winter as a forageable on the beach. This item ends up being our limiting factor, but later in the run we do manage to buy one from the traveling cart and complete the community center on day 21 of fall. Another tough bundle to complete before winter is the winter foraging bundle. The crystal fruit and snow yam are easily found by mob drop from the dust sprite and frost jelly, respectively, in the normal mines. The crocus and the snow yam are a bit tougher, but can be obtained without even relying on the traveling cart from winter seeds. We will unlock the greenhouse around day 9 or so of fall, so we just have to hope we can get the crocus and snow yam from some winter seeds, which we will receive 10 from Gunther as a donation reward. As a backup, there is also a trade with the Desert Trader on Saturdays, where we can give 2 spring seeds for 1 winter seed. This is just a last resort method if we need though. Back to day 27, our starfruit harvest is ready and we gain another 960 starfruit, which we replant with 960 wheat seeds. These will be ready for harvest on fall day 1, leaving us a nice open field to plant 960 pumpkins. It was pretty clear that starfruit was our choice crop for summer, selling at a base price of 750G. Then when kegged plus the 40% artisan bonus, a starfruit wine sells for 3150G. We grew approximately 2,500 starfruits this summer, and if all were sold as wine, this would be about 8 million G. With fall, the choice crop is a bit tougher since all options are a downgrade from starfruit. Many people recommend cranberries as the best fall crop, which may be true if you are not using speed grow. Our field is using deluxe speed grow, which as you can see paired with cranberries is sort of awkward. The cranberries initially grow in 4 days, then grow back every 5 days, giving us only 5 total harvests in fall. Taking into account seed costs, this nets us approximately 561,000 G. We also are not planning on kegging any other crop than starfruit since we have tons of starfruit to keg and will keep getting more once we unlock Ginger Island, so we don't need to take into account the values if kegged. Therefore, pumpkins end up being the best crop choice of fall with their base sell price of 320G, and we are able to fit in 3 harvests with a few days to spare. Taking into account seed costs, 3 harvests of 960 pumpkins will net us 725,000 G. We can even use the extra few days for a wheat harvest to get some extra hay for our animals. Finishing up the month with day 28, we drop off some items at the community center and go around town giving out gifts and fulfilling quests. We do need to start thinking about leveling up friendship with people more if we want to get maxed out with everyone before the end of year 2, especially those whose birthdays we missed. We end our summer by attending our very first festival, the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. Overall, we managed to harvest about 2,500 starfruits this summer at 750G each, which will triple in value once turned into wine. Then plus a 40% artisan bonus, our 2,500 starfruit wine would sell for approximately 8 million G. This is 80% of a gold clock, the most expensive structure in the game, all just from starfruit harvested in summer of year 1. Of course, we will get some more money from Skull Cavern dives, and our fall harvests, and of course, once we unlock Ginger Island, we will be growing starfruit there non-stop. Other than making money this summer, we also managed to start a tree farm to gather wood and oak resin for crafting lots of kegs with. We also did a lot of mining in both Skull Cavern and the normal mines to gather lots of resources which will make us more money and serve as valuable crafting materials. Another important achievement of this summer includes some new farm buildings, including the big coop, deluxe barn, silo, stable, and the first house upgrade, and also some tool upgrades. The iridium axe comes in handy for chopping down many trees, and the secret wood stumps, not only for the wood, but also to level up our foraging skill. We also caught all the summer unique fish for our collection and obtained the other summer exclusive items, like every summer crop and the rainbow shell. We also spent some time questing and gift giving, especially on birthdays, and also continued to make progress on the community center bundles, which we will end up completing on fall day 21. Continuing to the month of fall, we will of course start crafting kegs and start turning our starfruit into wine. We will also have the 3 harvest some pumpkins and plant all the other fall seeds as well, and of course, we will continue Skull Cavern dives and resource gathering, getting more upgrades and farm structures, leveling up NPC friendship, and completing quests, including the new special orders. If you are looking forward to the next min-max recap, I do recommend subscribing so you'll be sure to see the video when it comes out. If you are interested in this run, also consider checking out the series and playlist where I will go through all the days in much greater detail and share all the tips and tricks I use to make this run possible. Please feel free to leave a comment with what you enjoyed or with any suggestions or questions. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.